Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pink Perspectives powered by the Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dannette Justus. Today is a special episode for me on Christmas Eve, and I get the opportunity to be able to broadcast this from the Southwest and appreciating all that Arizona has to offer. Although the Pink Table Talk was established in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the goal is education, research, and policy, and to take it across the country because the stories resonate with the likes of everyone like you who are watching. I'd also like to take this time to give a special thank you to our hometown heroes and just acknowledge them with how they've been affected by the pandemic as unsung heroes, and being able to deal with the uncertainties that 2020 has presented to us. And in addition to that, I'll also ask them if they have any glimmer of hope for 2021 as we enter into the new year. So thank you for joining me. Hi, thank you for joining me today for this special edition of Pink Perspectives, powered by the Pink Table Talk. Just like to welcome my brother, one of the key workers in 2020, and welcome you to have a conversation with me regarding your perspective on being a key worker in these uncertain times of 2020. So thank you for joining me.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So as I said, part of the things that I'd like to discuss today with you is just looking at it from your perspective as one of the Milwaukee Heroes, and just understanding from your take on how in these uncertain times of 2020, how that has affected you as one of the key heroes of Milwaukee as an employee of Miller Coors, and just wondering what you can share with us today.
Well, through the pandemic, nothing really has changed too much for me as far as work. The brewery has stayed open all year. Ever since March, we've been going nonstop, working all through the summer, all through the holidays, all up to now. There's been no shortage of work, which is great. We've been blessed to still be one of the people still out here working and not having to go through unemployment or under the other obstacles that many other people have to go through. We've been lucky to still be able to work every day, still working overtime. Like I said, a lot of our beer sales go to stadiums and arenas, and with all of the stuff from COVID shutting everything down, we've still been able to make money because people are at home drinking now.
Wow.
So there's been drinking more because they're at home, and we've been able to supply them, and really hasn't much changed too much as far as work with the COVID.
Okay. Have you found, just from that perspective, that with a lot of the shutdowns and the, like you said, within the NFL and within Major League Baseball and with the NBA, those are the pastimes that people would, frequent. And those are major selling points and major selling arenas for the beer industry, and especially with Milwaukee being like the home and the capital of Miller Beer, and people look at that branding that has had like a major impact as well.
Yes, it has. Like I said, I'm happy that we've been able to still steady work through all of this. I'm hoping that after all of this pandemic goes on and goes forward, that everything opens back up and we're able to sail back to these arenas and stadiums and get everything back pumping and flowing like we normally do. I know everybody wants to get back to normal. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy time. I've had family members not working because of the COVID, and I've had people, had loved ones pass because of COVID. I've known multiple people myself that have passed from COVID, so it has affected me personally, but not as far as my job. So I'm just been blessed and grateful to be able to still have this job and still be essential and still be able to provide the beer that the world needs, that the country needs.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And my sincere condolences, because as you stated, there has been a lot of loss within this uncertain time, and we just need to be respectful of that and just give, our continued blessings to those families as well. So if there is one glimmer of hope that you can provide as we look forward to the new year and going into the next chapter, into 2021, what is something that you could just offer from your own personal perspective?
Well, the thing that I would like, or I would hope to get back to normal, is everybody getting back to traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I like to travel myself. I like to go multiple places throughout the year if I can. With the COVID going on, I haven't been able to really go anywhere or do anything. So that has kept us in the house, kept me working. But at the same time, that is something I am hopeful for that will change next year, to where we all are able to travel and, like I said, attend more games, whether it's NBA, NFL, or Major League Baseball, or whatever sport that you want to participate in, or want to help out. Hopefully we can all get back to normal and get back to a good life instead of this stressful life.
Exactly. And on that note, I'd like to thank you for joining me once again, and thank you for your time and for being a Milwaukee Hero and contributing to this special edition of Pink Perspectives, powered by the Pink Table Talk.
Yes, I'm honored and happy to be here and help you out and do this. Like I said, I'm also honored to represent Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewery, Molson Coors. We're now Molson Coors instead of Miller Coors.
Awesome.
We've had multiple changes within the brewery, but we are still making beer. So that's a good thing. But it's always a great time.
Awesome. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hi, Dana. Thank you so much for having me. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So today, I'm honored to be able to bring a special edition of the Pink Table Talk to all of you who are joining us, and just simply say thank you, and the fact that we've almost made it through the end of 2020. One of the things that has been a positive for me as the host of the Pink Table Talk is that this podcast and nonprofit was actually birthed in the midst of a pandemic. I'm fortunate enough that I've had several episodes of my podcast have been aired. And now I'd just like to just say a thank you to Milwaukee Heroes. And some of them are my friends and some family, and they've joined me for just a simple, question that I'd like to ask them. So Kasey, can you tell me what life has been like during the pandemic as an assistant teacher? And just to wrap up, what you think we should look forward to in 2021?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say congratulations to you, Dana. I think you're just doing a wonderful job with your Pink Table Talk. So congratulations to you. And yes, absolutely. And so going to the question that you just asked, I think that working in the pandemic in 2020 as an assistant teacher, it's been an incredibly emotional experience, one that none of us could have ever predicted, and none of us would have ever known how we were going to react to it. And I guess the first word I would use is that it's been an emotional year and an emotional experience. In the middle of March, one day we found out that we all had to leave school. School was going to be shut down. And we were just pretty much under the impression that we'd be back in the school in 2 weeks. We'd try virtual school out, see how it goes, and be back in. But as you know, that didn't happen. And the school year ended virtually, and many of us didn't get to get back together again. So it was very emotional. And I guess that realization that for many, school is always that constant where you always know you're going to be coming into school at 8:15 and you're going to leave at 3:15, even if you didn't want to. But I think that perspective has really shifted. I think we've all come to appreciate the little things so much more. And it's just been a really good experience that way. But again, knowing that it has been, so emotional, we're all doing the most that we can in our own positions to just do whatever we can to get the school buzzing again, to keep the hallways just filled with the sounds of kids and just keeping kids engaged, whether it's virtually or in person. We're just doing whatever we can. on platforms we never imagined, and just trying to make that happen and to help parents at home too, because we know, like myself as an example, I have kids, and we're doing what we can to help students learn virtually at the same time, and it's very stressful, but we're trying to make the most of it. So I think it's been very inspiring, and we really have come to appreciate our community even more. We really have relied on each other, and it's overall, as challenging as it's been just as positive.
Awesome. And I see a little positivity floating around in your house. Is there a reindeer that I see?
We're sprinkling positivity as we go.
Awesome. And as we wrap, can you just give me just one glimmer of hope for 2021?
I would be more than happy. There are so many glimmers of hope for 2021. And I think, with everybody having to kind of pivot as we go, just knowing that we can do anything. It's not going to be easy, but we can do it. We've risen to the occasion. We've made virtual school work. We've made social distancing work. We can do this. Now we know we can do virtual school and we can do in person, and we can make anything work. So whatever is thrown at us, we're going to be able to handle it. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to team together as a community, and we're going to make it happen for the kids.
Thank you. One of my favorite sayings that's come out of 2020 is that we're all in this together. And I appreciate that from all aspects of life, probably even more so in 2020. And as we look forward to 2021 and what it has to offer. So thank you again for joining me, and say hi to your little elf back there and your reindeers.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And again, Merry Christmas. And thank you for having me.
Hello, Dannette, and thank you for joining me on this Christmas Eve. I appreciate your time.
Hi, Dana. Thank you for having me.
So as we go into Christmas and looking forward to 2021, I invited you to have a conversation with me and just talking about how your experiences as an educator has been in the midst of the pandemic. So if you could maybe just kind of share just your personal experience with me.
I think the newness of it all for administrators and educators, parents and children alike, there's definitely a learning curve, and we are all learning, and we're still learning. Patience has definitely been a part of this. We still want our students to succeed and do their best, but we know we are in the midst of a pandemic. We would love for all the students to log on faithfully and consistently, and that's one of the things that we want to continue to move in the right direction with that. Yeah. A positive, I guess, that has come out of this, which I hope MPS adopts, is parent-teacher conference. We had the highest number of parents probably participating in parent-teacher conference, I would say, ever, because I feel like it was convenient for all. Yeah. A little less intimidating. And so I do hope that how parent-teacher conferences are conducted and conferences in general, I hope we look at a new way of doing things even after the pandemic is over. So
awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because that is key. And that's one of the components that people may not have even thought about in the midst of the pandemic. We think about, all of the essential things that we need just as a family unit, but not really resonating, what goes on behind the scenes. So I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, is there anything that you can offer as a glimmer of hope as we go into the 2021 year?
For myself, I'm excited. I was able to start a weekly read aloud that honestly was just supposed to be a one-time thing for the first day of school. Welcoming the students back with a story that was relevant for the first day of school. And then the next week, teachers were like, where's our read aloud? And the next week, teachers were like, where's our read aloud? And then the next week, kids were like, where's our read aloud? And so it has become a weekly thing. And I was encouraged by some friends and family and colleagues to start a YouTube channel. And so I have done that. And so that has been a glimmer. It's something I truly enjoy. Never thought I'd enjoy it, but been getting a lot of good feedback. So I think my weekly read alouds have been a little glimmer of hope, and I've been told I better continue them even after the pandemic. So
Yes.
I guess I have a YouTube channel now.
Awesome. I would have to second what everyone else is saying. Having volunteered at the school that you are at, just when we were able to gather together just safely. And now having also listened to some of your read-alongs, I also would just offer my, friendly advice to say, please continue it and look forward to whatever we can hopefully do just on my end to encourage that as well. Maybe even like providing a link for people to look at would be something wonderful as well, because education is extremely important, and why not have something that we can always be able to look back at. And one of my cliches, and probably one of yours too, that like reading is fundamental. So any opportunity you can get somebody to read or to listen to a story
Absolutely.
is a glimmer of hope. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining me on this Christmas Eve. It's a pleasure to have you here for a special episode of Pink Perspectives, powered by the Pink Table Talk.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. So basically, I've had conversations with a few other key workers and hometown heroes in regards to what it's been like as far as life as a key essential worker in the midst of uncertain times in 2020. So I'd like to just ask you simply what you feel from your perspective that 2020 has meant to you as a key professional in the nursing profession.
I feel like 2020 has taught me and my coworkers resilience. We've had to be real resilient this year in everything that we've faced, and then also come together as a team. A lot of teamwork has come to play to help take care of patients.
Yes. Is there anything that you can see or that you may offer to those that may be listening as to how COVID has just affected just your profession and the patients and things that you've been seeing, and something that just may have been touching just to you, just personally within your profession?
I feel like with COVID, we've had restrictions on visitors at the hospital, especially in the COVID area. Patients are not allowed visitors. So you've really had to kind of step in and be that support for the patient because their loved ones can't visit. So I feel like you're setting up phone calls and video chats, but on the other hand, you're holding their hand or helping them through things that maybe their family member would normally be there and are unable to. So I've had many patients who are just thankful for the time that I can give to them, or maybe I can sit and talk or hold their hand, and just kind of be a fill-in for the moment when their family can't be there. I've had patients who have left the hospital, and then also family members just say how grateful they are with the staff kind of filling in for them. And, because we understand it's hard too. It's hard for us to see them without their family, and we know it's hard for the family to not be there as well.
Oh, for sure. And thank you. I mean, just being in that role alone, just on an average basis, and now having to couple that with the pandemic is commendable. And the long, tireless hours that you are spending is just very appreciated. So with that being said, is there any glimmer of hope that you see as we look forward to entering into 2021 in the new year?
I'm hopeful with the vaccine that has just been rolled out. I was fortunate enough to receive that on Saturday. So I'm hopeful and I feel fortunate to be, that they've let healthcare workers be some of the first ones to receive it. And I'm really hopeful that it's maybe something that we can hope will help turn things around a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective. And again, much appreciation to you and the others that have joined me for the conversation. and appreciation as a hometown Milwaukee hero. And thank you.
Thank you.